Welcome to High Infidelity, the best cheating videos on YouTube. If you enjoy this content, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications. Now let's get into the video.
Male 29 needs advice about getting through a sudden breakup with female 26. For the last 5 years, my girlfriend 26 and I, male 29, have been together. We've been in our dream house since October 2020, and we've just adopted a puppy that we love. We also have 2 beautiful cats in our home. During the first few months of our relationship, I learned that she had been disloyal and had contact with someone she had been seeing on and off since she was 14 years old. For hours on end, she'd have with him before she'd have with me. Prior to this relationship, I was a really open-minded guy, and I'd never been envious of anybody before, but it completely broke me. When I confronted her about it, she broke down in tears, vowed to quit, and pleaded with me to come back again. After a few days of consideration, I came to the conclusion that I should forgive her and make an effort to have a constructive relationship with her going forward. In retrospect, I believe it was too much more estranged from me. The situation might seem to be a never-ending, destructive cycle at times. Over the course of a couple of wonderful months, we were able to express ourselves and become more comfortable with one another's company. Despite the fact that she had another relationship with a coworker in July 2019, this one was less serious than the first. But we spoke about it again and came out stronger, and we got to where we are now. We have a lovely house together, dogs that we love, and we've talked about our future together and made plans, so we're happy. She told me last Sunday that she didn't love me anymore, and that she didn't see me as a father figure for her future children. I was shocked and disappointed. This is the first time something of this kind has happened in the past. I thanked her on having the courage to tell me, and suggested that we seek professional treatment, couple therapy, to help us sort out our feelings and talk about our future together. She took a deep breath and simply said, "I don't know." For the following several days, I was living in a nightmare. It was at this point that my mental health fell to the point that I had a breakdown, and I felt driven to go through her phone for reasons why she wouldn't want to seek aid and why she would jeopardize 5 years of marriage and our whole predicament by not going to counseling a few times. She has given me proof that she plans to revive her connection with the coworker with whom she had an affair, which I believe to be unassailable, but I'm not sure whether this is the result of my paranoia or something more serious. When I try to talk to her about it in a sensible manner, she always denies it. Despite the fact that we had most certainly beyond our breaking point, I apologized for my outburst and brought up the subject of couple counseling once again. Even though we were most certainly over our breaking point, it would surely be beneficial in reducing the impact and getting our thoughts in order. In the end, when I prodded her for an answer that didn't materialize, she admitted that she didn't have the fortitude to go through treatment, that she rejected any outside support, and that she wanted to end the relationship right then and there. The worst part is that, in addition to losing her, I'm also losing the house, our beloved pets, which are mine, but let's face it, I can't take them away from the house. And I'll most likely get to see her rebuild her life with a coworker in my house, which is in my hometown, directly across the street from my parents' house, which is also in my hometown. I owe her half of the $100,000 that her wealthy grandpa put into the home, as well as the other half. For the time being, I'll have to sell everything I possess in order to raise the additional funds I don't currently have. I'm always worrying about how I can do damage to the other person's feelings. Throughout my life, the thought of suicide has crossed my mind several times. Although this is not a summons, it is a warning that if I spend too much time thinking about her, her affairs, and all I am about to lose, the thoughts will pulse through my head like bullets in a machine. Fortunately, I've already scheduled an appointment with a therapist who will aid me in coping with everything and perhaps avoiding any physical harm to anybody in my immediate vicinity. According to the information I've received, several of my closest friends have taken possession of my vehicle keys and are taking turns staying with me to ensure that I don't do something dumb. We could have saved our relationship if we had received professional counseling, but I believe that we have reached that stage now and can only attempt to minimize the damage which I have no idea how to do given my little understanding. Story 2. How do you forgive and get over cheating when you've never even been cheated on? My father abandoned my mother and me when I was a youngster so that he could marry another woman. My brother cheated on his wife hundreds of times while they were still dating, and my sister was dumped by her ex-boyfriend while they were still dating. On the whole, every lady in my family has been fooled on at least a couple of times. Fast forward to the present, and I have trust issues as well as problems committing, all of which have caused me to end past relationships, including the one I am in today. I've always been with and dated the good people, but the problem is that I usually end things before they get complicated because I tell myself, if all of those persons, who happen to be members of my family, were able to do such a thing, then what makes me think you are any different? Consequently, I cut it off before they had a chance to do so themselves. In my circle of friends, there was a pair in which the female had cheated on the guy. Since then, I've had nothing but contempt for her. She is someone I loathe. As a result of her being cruel, unapologetic, and continuously getting away with adultery without repercussion, I no longer consider her a friend. Why? Because he has a consistent response to her love. It's been 4 years, and our pals are only aware of the first incident, although I am aware of the other two. The guy forced me to promise that I would not notify our common acquaintances. My hatred is consuming me, and I periodically project my frustrations and troubles onto my partner by briefly separating him from the rest of the world. It has crossed my mind to notify all of our friends, but when I think about it, I'm not sure what benefit it would provide me, besides from peace of mind, or what the ramifications would be. To illustrate how severe my trust problem has grown, consider the fact that I've had it for who knows how long, and that it has harmed my prior relationships with individuals who didn't deserve to be abandoned only because of trust concerns. The patience, kindness, and understanding of my parents never wavered, and they were and continue to be a source of comfort to me. When it came to them, they were almost always the best, but I was almost always the stumbling block for them to overcome. I continue to be fortunate in that my current spouse has all of the aforementioned attributes. Last week, I explained to my husband that I was seeking help for a lengthy internal conflict, and that I hoped to be happy as a result of it. I expressed my desire to be free of ideas such as he would undoubtedly cheat on me eventually, and this is going to end anyhow, so why not do it now? The fact that I may be harsh, rude, and full of doomsday thoughts or even voice my wish to leave doesn't matter to him. He always treats me with courtesy and consideration. But please, I'm asking for encouragement and suggestions on what I may be able to do. This is no longer an effective method of maintaining my mental and emotional stability.